Khalid dropped the song called "Keep Me." I know I'm probably saying his name wrong, but he released a single called "Keep Me" for his 10-year anniversary of his first album, which I think is remarkable for a lot of artists because a lot of artists don't either make it or do not celebrate the track of it being 10 years. So he made a song called "Keep Me." Now I'm gonna give you some information on this artist. I gave you information about other artists. So a few days ago he dropped this song. However, I don't think a lot of people knew he's an American artist. With that information, he is also R&B half pop, which I think that is clear because he is a singer, which an American singer I don't think people knew, but he is an American singer, and his voice sounds southern, and I wasn't able to put an actual point on where he was from in the South because the South they love their artists. Um, we show love to every artist that's from the South. So where he is originally from is Georgia. Now you're gonna hear it in his voice, but this song is one of these. I think a better song of him that I do like. It's very you're gonna get very into your emotions on this song, and we'll talk about all of that after we check to see if we got any sponsors.
Hey, it's Kaylee Cuoco for Priceline. Ready to go to your happy place for a happy price? Well, why didn't you say so? Just download the Priceline app right now and save up to 60% on hotels. So whether it's Cousin Kevin's Kazoo concert in Kansas City, go Kevin, or Becky's Bachelorette Bash in Bermuda, you never have to miss a trip ever again. So download the Priceline app today. Your savings are waiting.
Go to your happy place for a happy price. Go to your happy price, Priceline.
Okay, so many people will ask why I laughed at the end, or why did that song I was laughing or giggling. It's because this song right here, I've been looking for a song that I can relate to and feel the experience of, and a song that will understand what I've been through, right? Because he talks about many things. He talks about love and how he gave up, how a lot of people in relationships, we normally give up things that we don't want to do or things we cannot stand to please the other person, which I think is a great way to celebrate 10 years of any situation. But the release of a song I think is amazing. So when I talked about giving up love and stuff you didn't want to do, in the song he talks about how about you roses even though I hate the smell. Right, like even though he hates the smell, but I think roses, depending on how you get them, if you get them fresh or however you receive them, they do have kind of a smell to them. But he also explains that sometimes he feels that the person is out of his league or that they're a little bit different, right? Like almost like they didn't have anything in common, which I know a lot of people probably do feel like they're in a relationship where they don't have many things in common. But he says, you were part of the popular kids and I hated that. And I think they were part of two different groups, which I think that's the better understanding of a relationship. Like there's your opposite or was always in a different crowd and you just met off of a whim. And or if it was planned or if it was fate, destiny. You met y'all were definitely y'all didn't think y'all were in the same league, and y'all just connected. He says he hated, he just says, you hung out with the popular kids, and I hated them, right? Or he says I couldn't stand them, which I think is probably a better way to approach that. He talks about the good times, talking about like enjoying the ride with the windows down. Right, and just enjoying the fresh air while going on a like late drive. Like, I think a lot of people do enjoy like late drives, but with the window down, that was one of his favorite experience. He says, "Keep me in your head. You don't have to speak anything that happened in the past. So anything we went through, you don't have to speak about it. But just remember, just keep me in your mind all the time. Or keep me in your mind, which I think is a good way to express himself. Which a lot of people don't really want to explain, but he did say when she was with the popular kids, he just wanted to be with her. So I think those were a great time for him, but also a time where she understood that he liked her, which a lot of people don't, which a lot of people do overlook. He says, but I'm always gonna be your biggest fan. Which I think when you get into a relationship or you like somebody, you always end up becoming their biggest fan because you only wish good for them. Which I think is amazing that we can get this in a song and deal with it because I know a lot of people that are like, "Hey, I am this person's number one fan because I believed in them or I liked them," and it's so rare to be able to be said. No matter if you're shy, introverted, extroverted, sometimes it's hard to be said. So I think this song will help a lot of people. And he just says, I hope the new man loves you like I did," which I think expresses a lot of things, but also there are a lot of people that are in relationships that are one sided, like the person loves that person to death, and the other person just isn't feeling it or in the feeling just for the ride, right? Because they think it's good for the time, which I think is a bad way to look at things, but it happens, and I think that's the saddest thing about falling in love. Like we want love forever, but we know that it comes with a cost, and I think um that cost is what everyone desires. Like we desire to be in love, but I think the desire of falling in love and staying in love forever, I think that's just like the dream of a lot of people is loving for always being in love. He also talks about you should have just walked away with me. Just like in faith, we should always be together or we were meant to be together. And I think you should try it, which in that concept alone is just blind love. They always say love is blind, but I think if you want to step out on a blind faith and truly love this person or truly believe that you should love this person, I would say go for it. But the way he says just walk with me, like walk with me in faith or just walk with me and let's try to make this relationship work is what I think the song should really end on. And it did end on that. And I think that's a great way to think about relationships, love, friendships, best friendships. I think that's the best way to look at it because everything's a leap of faith. And if you don't try it, then it's very upsetting. But overall, I do like this song. So it's an 8 out of 10 for me, which I think is a great because this song is very simple, but it also expresses a lot of emotions that a lot of people do not get. So I hope you enjoy it.